What's shaking, everybody? I'm back with another video, and I don't know if I should do like a story time or like what happened with me and my recent ex. And I didn't dated him for a month. It wasn't even a month, it was like a month and a half. He broke up with me at the end of October, and then I moved back to where I'm at right now in the beginning of November, and then that's when I met my current boyfriend. So I can give you like a big migraine, but I can go from my recent ex to my new relationship now. I'll give you guys a little insight on my recent ex. So I met him on this dating app called Hilly, and we were talking at first for a month. And then he told me, well, he was like in a halfway house, not really jail, but like in a halfway house. And he was basically saying that, he was saying that he was in jail. And so that relationship was like super, super rushed. He lived in Connecticut, and I lived where I'm at right now. I'm not going to give away my state or information because you guys don't need to know all that. But he was from Connecticut. I'll give you guys that information. And what happened with that is that he was in jail for a while. He told me like what kind of charges he had. The reason he was put in jail was for domestic abuse. And I'm coming on here to talk to you guys about this, not to like scare anybody or have anybody like fear certain relationships, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to put fear into people. I'm trying to explain my situation just in case somebody else is in the same situation I was, so they know that it's not just them going through it. They know that they're not alone. They know that I went through the same similar situation. So it's not trying to scare people. It's more so trying to give insight about what happened in my life, because you never know, someone can be going through the same thing that I'm going through or that I went through. So I'm not going through that anymore. Thank God. I'm happy and I'm safe now. But I can tell you from experience, it is super, super scary to go through. And I went through it by myself. He tried to rush the relationship. We were dating for not even a month. And then I basically I was working at that time too, so I basically quit my job without letting them know anything that was going on. And I moved to Connecticut like that. I packed up all my shit and I moved. And she already, I was living with my sister at that time, but I was paying rent for the apartment. So she basically knew that I was moving, because I already told her beforehand that I was moving. And I packed up all my stuff and I moved. I moved. I did. And it sucked at first because I was going through everything by myself. And it was kind of just like, oh, I'm alone kind of thing. But I was alone. I was in a whole different state with none of my family close by, and it was very lonesome. In the beginning of the relationship, this is how it starts. He was very manipulative. Oh, well, before I moved into his place, not even his place, we lived with his dad. And he promised me that we were gonna move into an apartment, and we never even moved into an apartment, which I thought was really, really stupid and super sketchy and super weird. That he told me that we're gonna be moving into an apartment, and we never even got our own place, which I was pissed off and I was upset. What's going on? So during this time when all this was happening, I was very upset, very confused. But we started talking from this dating app, right? And I gave him my phone number and we started talking on FaceTime and stuff. And from then on, we were talking for a while. Well, not that long, but for a while. I think for almost a month until I moved in, which is crazy. But yeah, to speed everything up, he basically told me that he wanted my kids and he wanted to live with me and all that. So, you know, I was like, yeah, okay, you know, we're ready to take a big step. Usually when people come out of jail, sometimes they turn out to be different people, and that's what I thought was gonna happen. But that did not happen. He was very abusive and very manipulative, and he would always grab my phone 24/7 and think that I'm cheating on him when I wasn't cheating on him. And I used to cry and tell him the truth, and he still thought I was lying. He took my car. I had a car. He broke my car. He said the engine seized and it broke. He'd always take my car keys, and whenever I used to ask him where he was going, he'd always get mad at me, which I thought was stupid because he was leaving in my car and he was grabbing my car keys. So I'm like, I have every right to ask you where you're going because that car is in my name and you're taking my car and you're driving my car around. And he used to yell and scream at me, and it was really, really bad. I was miserable. I was upset. Oh, we got into an argument one time. He punched me in my rib cage. He used to scream at me, call me a bitch, and that I'm so stupid, and curse at me, literally to the point where I would be crying myself to sleep. In that relationship, I'm sorry if I'm describing too much. I'm gonna put like a disclaimer, like, you know, I'm getting to talk about like abuse and stuff, and if this triggers you, do not watch the video. But this part that I'm gonna get into next is really, really like descriptive. So if you want to click off from the video now, click off from my video right now. But I'm about to describe something really, really like hurt me and made me upset. But if you want to click off, because this is gonna get like really, really sensitive really quick, and I don't want anybody, you know, getting mad at me or trying to like sue me or whatever for what I'm about to talk about, because I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there. So if you're like sensitive to like abuse and stuff, and you know, sexual abuse and like rape and all that, then click off this video like right now, because that's what I'm about to go into. So click off right now, letting a disclaimer right now. Click off right now if you're very sensitive to that, because I'm about to describe something and it's so fucked up, and this happened to me. So he tried to trap me and try to make me have his kids. Like, he constantly come inside of me and try to get me pregnant, and I ended up not pregnant, thank God, because he was psycho. And when I did when we were having sex, one night he came home at 3 a.m. I was sleeping, I was super tired, and he came home and he literally like woke me up to try to have sex, and I didn't want to have sex. And there's this one time I had a UTI and stuff, and he was trying to have sex with me, and it hurt, and I kept telling him it hurt, and I wanted him to stop, and he wouldn't like let go of me, and I tried to push him off of me, and he wouldn't let go, and I was crying. He's like, oh, well, you know, I was about to finish, why can't I just finish? And I was crying and telling him to stop because it hurt. He's like, well, it didn't hurt before, but why is it hurting all of a sudden? I'm like, it hurt before too. So that was like, I was really upset. I was really upset because my ex raped me. So that was like really shitty. I was really upset. And I told myself, you know, never again. I'm never gonna put myself in that situation. Here I am now. You know, far away from him, which I'm happy about because he's crazy. But yeah, that is it for my YouTube video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys when I make another video. Bye.